Do you guys ever get the feeling that you're being watched? I don't know, like every time I narrate a battle, I feel like somebody's staring at me through the window or like standing over my shoulder just to see what I'm doing. I don't know. It feels kind of weird. Like right now, I'm looking over my shoulders. I don't know. It's probably just me. But yeah, anyways, happy 2013, guys. We're going to be starting off this year's uploads with a battle against Kaneziken. I do believe he has a YouTube, so his channel link is going to be down in the description. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my good friend Corey, aka King Quags, who made my awesome new background when I got partnered. So big thanks to him. Make sure to go check out both of them, guys. Anyways, I'm actually going to be using a team I used in one of my Pokemon Showdown live battles. If you guys did not see that video, a link to that will be in the top left-hand corner of the video. Anyways, looking at potential threats on Kaneziken's team, the only one real thing I see being threatening is going to be the Meloetta. Also, the Empoleon Gligar Wall Core could be very annoying, especially if I lose my Virizion. But yeah, I thought that Crobat would be the best lead because I could just U-turn out on whatever he decided to lead off with. But he leads off with a Scarf Victini. Turns out to have Final Gambit, and because Victini has a base 100 HP stat, which is 404 max, he destroys my Crobat. And that was my first time using Crobat. Why do you have to ruin it for me? So, we're both going to go into a Scarf first as he brings in Manchild, bring out Victini. I actually thought he would go for the U-turn, which is why I didn't go for the V-Create, but instead he ends up going for the Stone Edge. Gets off a heavy hit on my Victini, so I have to be careful, especially how I bring it in if he does get up hazards. But because he is locked into Stone Edge, I can now bring in my Virizion, which means I can go straight for a Giga Drain, and I know he's not going to bring in Meloetta on the off chance that I do go for the Leaf Blade, which means his best switch in is his Empoleon, and because he saw Giga Drain, he's probably thinking that I'm more than likely going to be specially based, but nope, I am actually work up Virizion, I am mixed, and go for the close combat and just annihilate this Empoleon, to say the least. And this is why I love mixed Virizion. It destroys any wall core paired with Gligar, like Gligar Umbreon, Gligar Snorlax, and for this example, Gligar Empoleon. So after taking out the Empoleon, is going to bring in the Frost Slash. Obviously, I do not want to take an Ice Beam just because I am -1 special defense. So my best switching into this Frost Slash is going to be my Milotic, as he does go for it. Judging from the damage, I'm thinking that he might be max special attack and max speed, which means he's more than likely going to be carrying Focus Sash, which in return means my best move to go for is Dragon Tail to prevent him from getting up more than one layer of spikes. As he actually ends up going for the taunt, maybe thinking I would go for the Toxic or the Recover or something, just scouting out to see what he wanted to do. But no, I do Dragon Tail him out into the Meloetta, which, as I said, is the one kind of potential threat on his team. As he goes for the Relic Song, it turns out that he's Life Orb, then he's going to turn into his Pure Red form, which means his special defense is going to be switched with his physical defense, which is why this Scald actually does more damage than it originally would have done if he was in his regular form. But because I don't want to take a close combat or a return, I decided to bring in my Hitmontop, which should be able to take any hit from this Meloetta. But it turns out that he is actually Relic Song Last Resort, and that's looking about to be a 2 KO depending on min-max, which is why I'm actually going to go for the Sucker Punch. And good lord, Meloetta is freaking powerful. He's at -1, guys, and he almost 2 KOs Hitmontop. So I managed to live on 10 HP, and I'm going to be able to get off another hit with Sucker Punch, but because it is so obvious, I know he's going to switch out, which means I'm going to go for the Toxic, but he brings in the Gligar. So that prediction kind of worked and failed at the same time, because he did switch, but then he brought in Gligar with immunity. So did I succeed or fail? I don't know. Anyways, he's going to go for the Toxic as I bring in my Milotic. I'm hoping he might think I have the Ice Beam so he can switch out, but he instead stays in, goes for the Stealth Rocks, as I'm going to be able to go for the Scald, and it looks to be about an easy 2 KO, plus if he wants to stay in and roost up, trying to stall me out, I will eventually get the burn, so it really isn't too bad. As this turn he's going to switch out to Frost Slash, obviously not wanting to risk Gligar getting burned, and knowing that he might just end up losing this war if he does want to stay in and try to Toxic Stall me. He gets the Curse Body Hacks again, which really doesn't matter considering the fact that he is more than likely just going to want to get up a layer of spikes so he can kill off my Victini. So predicting that, I'm going to switch into my Victini, and at the amount of HP that Gligar is at, V-Create could possibly be a 2 KO. So my best move to go for either way is going to be the V-Create, as he actually switches out into Meloetta, just basically as Death Fodder, just scouting out to see what I wanted to do. I mean, at this point, Victini is basically dead, so I have no other real choice but to leave it in for fodder. As he brings in Frost Slash and just finishing me off with the Ice Beam, I cannot go back out into my Milotic. And if he does want to switch out, something on his team is going to be getting hit with the Scald, and I could also have a chance to burn it. So I know he's more than likely just going to leave in the Frost Slash as fodder, as he does go for the taunt, just preventing me to want to go for the rest or the possible recover. I end up taking it out with the Scald. Again, gets the Cursed Body, which really doesn't matter considering that he's just going to bring in the Manchow. Now, I have my Milotic, Virizion, Rhyperior, and Hitmontop left. This Manchow was Scarfed and has high jump kick and is more than likely reckless. So it looks like I'm about to lose, right? Well, this is where you thought wrong, because I'm going to bring in Rhyperior and reveal to him that I actually carry the Protect, which obviously no Rhyperior tend to carry, which means he's not going to be expecting it, which is awesome because he misses the high jump kick, takes about 50% of his HP, and because, as I mentioned, he's more likely reckless, he's not going to be able to get that HP back with Regenerator. So on the off chance that he wants to bring in Gligar, I decided to fodder off my Hitmontop, but no, he decided to stay in. Goes for another high jump kick. Sorry, I just like blanked out for a second. And now I can bring back in Rhyperior, and I did run a quick calc just because I was really panicking at this point, and because I am max defense, max HP with solid rock, I can live a reckless boosted Scarf Jolly high jump kick. And I guess he knew this, so he decides to switch out into Gligar, or maybe predicting me to go for the Protect, obviously. And now, because he's more than likely going to go for the Roost and not switch into Manchow, risking me taking him out with the Rock Blast, I can get a free switch into my Virizion. As he does go for the Roost, he is not at enough HP to where he can take this Hidden Power Ice, and I'm going to be able to easily take out the Gligar, which means his last at this point is the Manchow, which, with the combination of Rhyperior and Virizion, I can easily take out. As he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, even though I don't have any special defense EVs, Virizion has an amazing special defense, and I easily take the hit and finish off the Manchow with the Giga Drain for the very narrow 2-0 victory in my favor. So yeah guys, starting off 2013 with this upload. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe as you please. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of this year, and I do believe I'm out of here. Later.